Reading for Wildlife. Written and illustrated by Zella, a project by Zella and friends. An elephant for breakfast.
Chapter 3. The Box. Freddie, Rose and Tom were in the hallway of Wisteria House, admiring the enormous box. It was a type of wooden packing case that Mother called a tea chest. For hundreds of years, this type of wooden box had been used to transport tea around the world from China and India. There was another loud knock on the door. The children immediately ran. As they opened the door, Lucky came bounding in, then stopped on the carpet and shook herself vigorously, sending a spray of doggy water over the children. "Oh, Lucky, did you have to do that?" asked Rose, who had borne the brunt of the water. The others laughed. It always seemed unfair that it should rain in summer. Even as Johnny and Bella were hanging their raincoats over the banister and pulling off their shoes, none of the children could take their eyes off the enormous box that was sitting there in the front hall. "It's just arrived," said Freddie, grinning. "We were about to text you and tell you to come over as fast as you could," said Tom. "I can't believe it's finally here," said Bella. I know," said Rose. "It's only 4 days late, but I was beginning to get worried." "About pirates," interjected Tom in a serious tone, finishing her sentence for her. Tom grinned at Rose. The others laughed. "Stop," said Freddie, as Rose threw a punch at Tom, but missed. She glowered at him instead. But no one could be cross for long, because the box had finally arrived. "Shall we see what's inside?" said Johnny, as he kicked his wet shoes into the corner. "I can't wait any longer." The 5 children began to drag the box towards the living room. Above the excitement and chatter of their voices, Rose heard her mother's gruff command, "Lift, lift! I don't want that box to ruin my floors." The children worked together on the count of 3 to lift the box. But it was too heavy. "I know what we need," declared Tom. "So do I," grinned Rose. They raced to the back of the house and returned with a couple of skateboards. Together, the children managed to tilt the box and slide the 2 skateboards underneath. "Is this better, Aunt Alicia?" smiled Johnny. He could always charm her. "Yes," she said, as she took a seat on the couch beside her husband Rupert and opened her newspaper, glancing at it, but keeping one eye firmly on the children. She did not want deep gouges across the wooden floor from the sharp corners of the box. Once in the centre of the room, the children carefully slid the box off the skateboard. "We need something to get the slid off. It's nailed down," Tom said. "Perhaps a hammer," said Johnny. "An old screwdriver to lever it up," Rose suggested. "A fork would do," declared Bella, and went to the kitchen to find one. Meanwhile, Freddie and Tom ran to the garden shed to find the toolkit. They came back triumphant, but wet, and carrying a battered yellow box. From the old yellow toolkit, they chose a claw hammer and a large rusty screwdriver. Opening the box was half the fun. They took turns with the hammer, screwdriver, and a fork. The excitement mounted as they wrenched out nail after nail, each one extracted like a stubborn tooth. "I wonder what it could be this year," said Rose. "Your turn, Tom," she said, offering her brother the tools. "Who needs this old fork?" said Tom, instead choosing the screwdriver and an even larger hammer. "These corner nails are bigger and really awkward to get out," he said, and then accidentally banged his thumb instead of the screwdriver. "Ow! You see what I mean? Your turn, Bella." "Fork, please," exclaimed Bella. She managed to insert it between the lid and the box, and then pressed down with all her weight. The lid did not move. The fork did. It was buckled beyond use. "Well, that was useless," said Bella. They all laughed. "It's very heavy," said Bella. "Perhaps it's full of gold and diamonds from the African mines." "Heavy, but not that heavy," said Johnny, taking the implements from his sister. "I think it's a baby elephant that we can climb on. Imagine, an elephant for breakfast. What a distinguished visitor." "Unlikely," said Tom. "I think a live leopard is crouching in the box, hungry and waiting to leap out and have us for its breakfast." "Or a lion," suggested Freddie. The children kept working steadily and with great concentration. It was hard work. Finally Johnny cried, "I think that might just be the last nail." As the lid came off, even Father lowered his newspaper to see what wonderful thing would emerge. Mother stood up to take a peek. She could not help herself exclaiming, "Such pretty paper," as the children removed masses of shiny blue, purple and pink tissue from the top of the box. "Oh, look," Mother said. "How thoughtful. Cosmo has sent his brothers their favourite tea, African Pride." She pulled out a black tin box and threw it at Father, who caught it deftly in one hand and grinned. Then Mother looked back into the box. "Oh, and a big packet of fresh coffee for Aunt Lily and me. Great!" She smelled the cloth bag of coffee beans before gazing back at the tea chest. Underneath the last layers of tissue, there were 9 rather large, brown squares. "But what is it?" asked Mother.
Here is how you can help. Share the story. Adopt an animal from afar. Visit when you can. Educate yourself. Donate to a conservation charity. To find out more about Reading for Wildlife, visit zellahunter.com or at Lady Zella Books, or follow the Reading for Wildlife YouTube channel.